It's your day in tech history, and it's brought to you by our friends over at Expedia.com, where you can find yours with Expedia. Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers here, and I welcome you to the Day in Tech History at dayintechhistory.com. It's part of the Tech Podcast Network. You can subscribe via iTunes, Zune, or Stitcher Internet Radio. Our Twitter is Day in Tech Hist, and all show notes are on the wiki page if you want to follow along. Now let's find out what happened on this day, your day in tech history.
October 24th, 1861 is actually where we're going to start. Western Union completes the first transcontinental telegraph line across the United States, which basically brings an abrupt end to the Pony Express. In 1926, Harry Houdini gives his last performance at the Garrick Theater in Detroit, Michigan. Kind of geeky, a little magician geek right there. In 1984, the Electronic Games Design Awards, what's called the ARCIES, is presented to the top 27 arcade, computer, educational, standalone, and video games of 1984. In 1995, the Federal Networking Council, which is a group made up of representatives from the Department of Defense, United States Department of Defense, National Science Foundation, and National Aeronautics and Space Administration, among others, which coordinate with networking among U.S. federal agencies, unanimously passes a resolution defining the term Internet. That resolution read, Resolution, the Federal Networking Council, or FNC, agrees that the following language reflects our definition of the term Internet. Internet refers to the global information system that is logically linked together by a globally unique address space based on its Internet protocol, or its subsequent extension, follow-ons, is able to support communications using the Transmission Control Protocol, Internet Protocol, otherwise known as TCP/IP, or its subsequent extension, follow-ons, and other IP-compatible protocols, and provides, uses, or makes accessible, either publicly or privately, high-level services layered on the communications and related infrastructure described herein. So basically, the Internet was born. In 1998, the British Broadcasting Company reports that Jeanette Park of Barlow, Cumbria, England, received an advertisement from Sony Computer Electronic Europe that mocking a doctor's test results in a creative attempt to sell PlayStation accessories, as she anxiously waited cancer test results from her own doctor. The ill-timed advertisement was part of a mass marketing campaign targeted during PlayStation owners. Park's husband had purchased a PlayStation game console to help her pass the time while she was in the hospital. Sony was surprised to see about 53 total complaints, and the incidents triggered an investigation by the Advertising Standard Authority.
And now this word from our friends over at Expedia. Las Vegas, Jamaica, San Francisco, China, New York, Portland, Florida. Have you been? Maybe you're from there and you need to start planning your trip home for the holidays. Now is the time to do that. With rates at their lowest for November and December, you can get great deals in planning your trip. That's where Expedia comes in, from air travel, hotels, cars, and full vacation packages. Because who doesn't want to be in a warm city during the coldest of winters? You can also earn Expedia points so you can use them on more trips all around the world. Get $25 off your first hotel booking at Expedia. Go over to geekazine.com/Expedia for more details. Over at Expedia, find yours. Now let's get back into your day in tech history.
In 2003, Apple Computer releases Mac OS 10.3. The Sober worm is first detected. It's written in Visual Basic and it affects only Windows platform machines. Sober uses its own SMTP engine, which is a mail engine, to spread itself to its victims in an email attachment. When the receiver unpacks the file, it has a bat.com.exe.pif or .scr file extension and runs it. It adds keys to the Windows registry, deactivates the previous Sober variants, and several popular antivirus applications. In 2005, a BitTorrent user named Chan Na Ming of Hong Kong is convicted of breaching a copyright ordinance. Chapter 528 of Hong Kong law for allegedly uploading torrent files to the films Daredevil, Miss Congeniality, and Red Planet to a news group. In 2006, Microsoft announced in a general release that its anti-spyware application Windows Defender for Server 2003, XP, and Windows 2000 had reached the end of its mainstream support period. In 2007, IBM asks for the patent for, the trolling process. Basically, people go and they look online for patents that are chances to patent something, and then they patent it themselves. And when they do that, IBM gets a cut. Pretty interesting. Also in 2007, Microsoft invests $240 million into Facebook.com. And in 2008, Yahoo announces a data site in Nebraska. Details were not divulged.
And that's your day in tech history. My name is Jeffrey Powers, www.dayintechhistory.com. All the show notes are over at wikizine.com, Geekazine's wiki. And of course, you can like the Facebook page and follow Twitter at DayInTechHist. Until tomorrow, take care. Day in Tech History is copyright 2014 JMP Enterprise and Geekazine.com.